with life and stuff and everything. Just sometimes you don't know what you're doing from one day to the next. How many times does someone say to you, what have you done? Have you had a good week? What have you done this week? And you look back and you're like, I have no idea. I have literally. So it's an absolute nightmare sometimes, but all good. Hello, Greg.
Hello. How are you?
How are you doing? You good?
I'm very good, thanks. Very good.
Very, very good. It's nice to see you here. So we've got Rachel, we've got Jane. I think she's not talking, and we can't see her. But Jane is someone I think I met and used to deal with 20 odd years ago when I was a young man. But we can't see her or hear her, but hopefully she's there and listening. So that's cool.
I am listening, and yes, you're quite right.
She's there. Oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Anyway, listen, we better get cracking. I've got tons to share with you. And we're actually live online as well. So we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Facebook, on my Facebook business page, and we're going to record this as well. And I want everyone who's listening to stay around to the end, because I'm going to give you something of real value that you can choose to accept or decline. It's entirely up to you. So about goal setting is this, and there's loads of people talk about goal setting and the importance of goal setting and how to do it. But I believe from the work I've done with like 397 clients in the last 4 years, I've actually refined the process to make super, super powerful goals. And the theme of today is about setting goals, and you can apply the sort of process that we're going to go through in your business and your life as well. And I really want to actively sort of motivate you to want to do this. And one of the important things about goals is they're not just about you. If you've got another person in your business or more people in your business, we've got to think about them, because what are goals really? What do they do? Well, one of the main things that goals do for us is they inspire the right behaviors. And if you can create the right goals, not only will you inspire the right behaviors from yourself, you're going to inspire the right behaviors from your team, because the goals represent like the tip of the arrow. They represent the tip of the arrow of the business, right? And if we can get everyone behind those goals and we can get everyone believing in those goals, we can then start to create a sense of belonging in the organization, in the community around that. And what better thing to do inside any business than create belonging, create belief, create a community of people all actively participating and doing the right things in order to get the business from A to B. A is where it is now, B is where we want it to be in the future. Okay? So is everyone in the right place to start? I want you to make sure that you've got a pen and some paper, because we can't actively, you can have a go at it. If you want to like do the work like in real time, you can. But what I'd love you to do is make some notes and sort of document the process and do this yourself. Do it with your team. And if you want my help in the future with it, then by all means, give me a ring and I'll help guide you through the process. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share some slides with you, and I'm going to talk around these slides. I'm going to talk around the process. But first of all, I probably need to intro myself. So let me get the technology working first. So we'll pick that there, and we'll share that. And I will go live there. Is that okay? Can everyone see the slides? Yep. Excellent, good. So goal setting, it's not just about the numbers. Whilst we might create numerical goals, it's not the be all and end all. We have to follow a process before we start thinking about the goals. We can't just go, right, I need some goals, let's do it. They're the goals, let's go. We've got more things that we need to think about and consider before we even start thinking about what the goals are. So before we get into that, I'm Andy Henderson. My whole ethos in life is about making a difference to others. And when I make a difference to the businesses I work with, they then go out into the world and make a bigger difference with their people and their customers. There are two types of businesses in my sphere of thinking. One type of business is their sole focus is to make as much money as possible, and that's all they care about. They are not the businesses that I work with. If I actively decline to work with that kind of business owner. The businesses that I do love to work with are businesses that care, that want to make a difference, that want to create impact in the world. Because my belief is, if you focus on impact, if you focus on making the difference, being the difference, the money comes anyway. you don't even need to think about it, because your clients get such a great service. They talk about that service to everyone. You know, you're doing meaningful work, you're building meaningful relationships, you're following your purpose and your passion. You know, the money's just going to knock on your door anyway. So we don't even need to think about it. And another sort of side of how I think is, you know, building a business is really tough, right? It's like climbing a mountain. You get halfway up, you feel a bit sick, tired, out of breath, and sometimes you want to come back down. And the problem with that is, and we all experience it at some time or another, the problem is that sometimes we do come back down and we get fed up and we get sick of it, and you know, it ends up being like Groundhog Day. But actually what we need to do is we really need to zone into what's at the top of the mountain. We really need to imagine and picture ourselves there at the summit of success, living our best life, building the best business that we're really proud of. You know, we've got a bunch of people in that are really fighting for that business. They all believe in that business. And actually we have the opportunity as business owners to build and design our business by design. You know, if we imagine what we want our business to look like in 5 or 10 years, and we really visualize that and write it down, all the stuff that business is doing, the people, the customers and stuff, we can design a business that delivers that vision. But when we're in the business in the day-to-day, and it feels a bit like Groundhog Day, we don't feel we can do that. And we're just doing the work, we're churning it out. It's like a sausage factory, just pumping more sausages out. We never celebrate success. We get tired, we get frustrated. And in the end, we're just running around at point A, just like expending loads of time, effort, energy, and money probably, and not moving forwards because we haven't got that design clear. And part of what we're going to do today is about the first bit of building a business by design that's going to lead you to setting the right goals for you, the right goals for the right reasons. And you can't just make them up out of thin air. There's a process to follow. And I'm going to guide you through that process. So I'm Andy Henderson. My nickname is the Sherpa Guide. And what's that all about? Well, it's about climbing a mountain. I'm a guide. I'm not a coach that tells you what to do. I believe you've got the answers already. They're just all jumbled up in here. All the answers are already there. I'm a guide. You know, it's all about asking questions and supporting your journey because I've got some experience. You know, I turned a failing business round. It was 15 million, then 14, then 13. It eventually got to 12 million. And the owner basically threw it at me and said, you need to fix this. You need to step up and because he didn't know what to do. And we did some great stuff. And part of the stuff that we did was actually some of the process that I'm going to guide you through in a second. And, you know, we turned that business around rapidly. We went from 12 million, a failing business, no profit. And we in the first year of implementing this kind of process, we went from 12 to 14.6 million. We went from 14.6 to 19 million. And we went from 19 million to 24.6 million in 3 years. So it's a great success story. That was based in Burnley. It was called Landway. And that was 4 or 5 years ago now. And then we sold it. And this is what I do now. I help people, I guide people up their mountain to success in their business and their life. So hopefully, you know, it's going to be a good session. You're going to learn some stuff, dead simple stuff, nothing complex. I don't use big words. I don't use acronyms. I can't stand all that stuff. So it's going to be simple. It's going to be meaningful. And hopefully it's going to motivate you into doing something with the stuff that you've learned. So every good Sherpa guide, they need a map. And this is what I call my destiny map. And part of the map we're going to use today, we're going to look at the start point, the destination, and then we're going to finally look at the goals that you might want to set for you and your business and your people to inspire belief, to inspire the right behaviors and to get all the people aligned. Instead of having a business with 50 people in it, all in different boats, rowing in different directions, you're going to have a business with one boat going true north, everyone together with that synchronicity and power, you know, all going in the same direction and enjoying that journey together. So like I said earlier, you know, sometimes, and we can make this a little bit interactive, I suppose, you know, like sometimes in the week, have you ever got to a point where you've worked so hard, you've done so much stuff, you finish work on a Friday and you're like, wow, you slump back and you're like, I feel so tired. I'm so stressed. I feel like I'm working at 100 million miles an hour, but I don't feel like I'm making progress. Anyone felt that before? I don't feel I'm actually getting anywhere. Yeah. And it's because of this that you can see on screen. It's because of this sort of effect of, you know, this, we're just moving, we're going up, we're going down, we're going left, we're going right. We're just trying to frantically find the destination, find the place that we want to go. And the problem is if we haven't defined exactly where we want to be, hang on a sec, I need to share my screen. Sorry. If we haven't defined exactly where we want to be, we keep having to go in different directions to find that place. We go up, it's not there. We go to the right a little bit, it's not there. We go to the left a little bit, it's not there either. Eventually, we've expended all this time, energy, effort, and money, and we're no closer to where we're trying to get to. So I follow Stephen Covey's kind of methodology where we need to start at the end and work backwards. What do we want our life to look like in the future? How does our business need to perform to give us the life we want? And then we can start thinking about those goals that are going to guide us towards that place. Because actually what we want to try and do is we want to try and harness all our time, effort, energy, and money and point it in a straight line to the destination. But if we don't know where the destination is, there's nothing to point in a straight line. So we just end up at point A, just going round and round in circles, moving a lot, but not making progress. Yeah? Does that make sense? We're just moving. And that's not what we want to do. If you know where you're trying to get to, if you know what's at the top of your mountain and you know why you must get there, then that's a tremendous sense of purpose that you've got. And if you can measure the progress towards that place over time, that's going to lead to a feeling of fulfillment. And that is what we're all searching for. If we really, truly resonate and boil down everything we want out of life, the sort of foundation of it all is we want to feel fulfilled in life, in the work that we do, in our business, with our colleagues, with our friends, with our family. We want that sense of fulfillment, because with fulfillment comes peace and calm, pride, good vibes. It's a good feeling. It's a happy feeling. So how do we do this then? How do we kind of create these goals that aren't just about numbers? Well, this is the process, right? And we've got to, in our mind, I want you to think about you, your business, your life as a journey from point A to point B. And I don't want to get like massively hung up on the destination, because the destination, is, I mean, how many times have you ever set yourself a goal and achieved it, right? You've achieved the goal and you've gone, yes, I've done it. I'm there. And you've sat in your chair and you're going, yes. And then about 3 minutes later, you're like, oh, is that it? Is that really it? Is that what next? And very often the actual journey towards the goal is the most exciting bit. You reach the goal, it's like, all right, okay, that's done. What's next? So we need to understand the destination. But when you understand where you are and where you're trying to get to, then the route that you create to get there is your journey. And actually, the journey is the prize, because you've defined that yourself, right? It's your journey for your reasons going to where you want to go. So actually, we can enjoy some of the bad bits of the journey, the obstacles, the rough terrain, the wind and rain, which we've experienced for the last 3 bloody weeks, non-stop. Yeah. Okay. So does everyone kind of get the concepts that I'm talking about here? Does it all make sense? Yeah. Dead simple. Okay. So
just jumping in there, Andy. There's a few people have just joined us, so it might be just worth just saying hi to them, just giving us a slight intro to what this is all about.
Hello, everybody. I didn't realise I got carried away, and I do get carried away because I love what I do. So hello, welcome everyone. We've got Stephen Dale, we've got David Hargreaves, Kate Connell, we've got Andy Osler, and various others. We're also live online, so I don't know who's watching from afar, but hopefully some people are watching, which is great. And we're recording this as well, so I'll share that with you all afterwards, which will be quite cool. So nice to have you here. It's all about goal setting the right goals for the right reasons. And it's not all about the numbers. So get your pens, get your paper. This is how I'd like you to proceed. I want you to make notes, and I want you to use this methodology when you finish the session to help you set the right goals, meaningful goals that not only mean something to you, but actually you use these goals to motivate the right behaviors in your people, in your team, because we want to create belief, we want to create belonging, we want to create a community in your business that's focused on making a difference, right? So this is step one. Think of it as a journey. A journey needs point A, where we're starting from. It needs point B, where we're trying to get to and why. It also needs the route, and the route needs to be broken down into chunks. And that's where we're sort of aiming to end the day, with the chunks being the goals and basically point A and point B mapped out. So with any journey, like when you go into the car, you put the sat nav on, the first thing the sat nav does it says to the satellites, where am I now? Oh, I've got it. I know exactly where I am. That's exactly what we need to do first. You can't set goals until you know exactly where you are today. So this is the process. How long have we got? We've got 40 minutes. Okay, I'll have to be quick. So the first part of the process, what are the facts? Where are you now? What are the facts in your business? Hopefully you can read that on screen. So we want the numerical facts. Revenue number, last 12 months. I don't want you to share this with me, by the way. This is just a guide. So you write notes, take notes, whatever you need to do. But you need to establish the facts. Where is your business right now? Revenue number, gross profit number, net profit number. How many customers have you served? Have you made a difference to in the last 12 months? What about your key business costs? Salaries, usually the big one. Software might be a big one. Buildings, rent rates. What are the 3 big business costs you've got today? How many hours a week do you work? Really important. We need to know the facts. Where are we starting from? How many hours a week do you work? Be honest. If it's 35, good on you. If it's 20, brilliant. Maybe you're a bit lazy. I don't know. If it's 70, it's not sustainable. That's not a business. God, that's like, that's not a business. That's you've got a job. And the worst bit about having a job inside your own business, you work for the worst boss in the world. It's you. Not that we're all bad, but it's you know the concept I'm talking about. How many employees have you got today? How much cash in the bank have you got? What's that rough sort of number that's the sort of headroom you've got in the business? What spare capacity do you have in the business? Have you got 10% spare to do more business? Have you got 20%? Maybe you're at minus 10. Maybe you're working 70 hours, or your people are working hours and hours and hours, and there's literally no slack. Again, it's not sustainable. We need to know what are the facts. Maybe there's some other things you want to measure as well, like the recurring income that your business generates, like that monthly recurring stuff, or the amount of subscribers if you've got a technical business, or whatever. But we need to understand the facts. Where are you now? We can't set goals until you know where you are today. So we're still on start point. What are the facts? What are the numbers? The next bit, if you want to make notes, is you need to understand and be really truthful and honest. You need to write down everything that's holding you back from moving forwards. Because if you're honest with yourself, when you look at the numbers you've written down at the start point, you look at where the facts are today, there's some of those numbers that you want to improve. There's some of those numbers that you want to change. Yeah. So what's stopping you? So I want you to think about everything that's stopping you, your business, your team, all that stuff. What's stopping you moving forward? What's holding you back? And I want you to list the stuff down. Think about, is it sales? Is it marketing? Be specific. Is it yourself? Is it your negative self-talk? Is it your lack of confidence or lack of skills? Is it the market? What's going on, outside of your business that's affecting your ability to grow the business, to grow yourselves, to move forwards towards a place that you want to be? We need to understand all the obstacles holding you back. How can you set goals if you don't know what the challenges are right now ahead? We need to know what they are. And once you've got a list of these obstacles, and by all means, if you've got a business with people in it, do this exercise with your whole team. Do it, because their perspective is different to yours, and it's massively valuable, because the obstacles that you might note down, someone else might have some different ones, and they're really valid because it might be holding them back. We need to know what they are, right? So we need to bring all those obstacles and challenges together, and we need to create a list. Prioritize them. Top 3. What are the top 3 we need to deal with? Okay. Once you've nailed down the obstacles and you've got a list, okay, you might look at it and go, bloody hell, there's a lot of things to fix here. Doesn't matter. We've got time. We can prioritize. We can attack them. Once we know what those things are, we can start hitting them and start knocking them over. Once you understand the challenges holding you back, then I want you to think about, what are the opportunities that exist in your business today that you're not capitalizing on? So all those ideas, all those new products, new services, new markets you want to penetrate, whatever it is, think about all the opportunities that exist in your business today and write them down. And there'll be so many, there might be 3, there might be 5, there might be 7. It's not a competition, but think about those opportunities that could make a real difference if you executed them, if you capitalized on them. Write them down. Doesn't matter if they're really harebrained or whatever. Just if you think it's valid, it's an opportunity that exists for you today. Maybe bringing in new skills, hiring a new person, new products, new service, whatever these things are. Think about the opportunities. Write them down. So right now we've got the numbers, we've got the facts, we know what's holding us back, and we know what opportunities exist in our business today that if we capitalized on them, we'd grow. Maybe if you've got a big list of opportunities, prioritize those as well. What's the biggest that if you could flipping just get some time and some money and investment, whatever, which is the one that actually would make the biggest difference to you, your team, your business, your customers, if you just executed on it? Top 3. Okay, once you've done that, there's 3 slightly different questions I need you to answer. And you need to, again, do this with your team, because the perspective you get about where they're at right now in your business, that feedback that you get from this exercise is massive. So what I want you to do is think about, if your business was a picture, if it was an image of something, what would it be? So we're using a different part of the brain. We're using like the subconscious a little bit now. Instead of the factual, like linear thinking, conscious mind, we're calling on the subconscious. If your business was a picture or an image of something, what would it be? What do you see? When you think about your business and a picture comes to mind about what it really looks like today, what do you see? You know, and find a picture on the internet, you know, of it. I mean, what I do in my sessions, I'll show you. Just 1 second. At this juncture, when I'm doing this with a board of directors or a mastermind group of solopreneurs and micro business owners, I have these. So there's literally 56 like picture postcards with 56 different images on, and I encourage them to pick an image that resonates with where they think their business is at today. And when you do it as a team, everyone will pick a different picture, and they describe to each other why they picked it. Why does that picture resonate with where the business is at today? And it's that same concept of, pictures tell 1,000 words. You know, it's really powerful, the visuals that come along with it. So we've got the start point numbers, the obstacles, the opportunities. Now we know what the business looks like, the visual representation of it. The next thing we need to understand, again, crazy question, I know, but we need to use all the senses. If your business was a sound today, what would that sound be? I've had some crazy sounds in the past. A siren going on and on and on, like an alarm, white noise. You know, I've had, what else have I had that's been quite amusing? A high performance engine with a gearbox that's just failed and it's like blowing up and making a huge racket, you know, because the start point, usually when you've completed this exercise, you kind of feel a bit like, oh God, yeah, they're the numbers. They're not where I want them to be. Yeah, I've got loads of things I need to sort out. Yeah, I've got some opportunities that I'm not capitalizing on. And my business looks like a flat football. It sounds like a siren. And the next bit, the final bit is, what does it feel like in your business today? Imagine the power of you asking your team these questions. Imagine the power of getting their perspective. You would know exactly where, not only where your business is, but you'd know exactly where your team is as well, and their perspective of where the business is at today. Really, really powerful. So, when I talk about what does it feel like, I'd say, just give me 3 words. 3 words to describe how it feels today. Be honest. There's no point in being in glossing this over. If it feels flipping great and exciting and a bit chaotic and a bit overwhelming at times, get the words down. We need to know where you are, right? We've got to do this before we set goals. The goal setting is not just about numbers. There's a process, and this is the start of the process. So I hope that makes sense to you all. That's the first bit, right? We've got 3 to go through. 3 bits. That's the first part done. It's the start point. We've defined point A. Now, this is a really cool bit. You can't do it in the session. You won't be able to do it, but make notes, please, and do it outside the session. And again, if you do it with your team, it's so, so powerful, because the next bit is about, we're going to zoom right massively far away from point A, and we're going to think about 10 years' time. In 10 years' time, where do we want to be? What is the destination? What is at the top of our mountain? Yeah, what's at the top? Now, I need you to understand that throughout this process, you've got all the answers already. I'm just a guide. My sort of skills are simplifying complex things and asking the right questions to get to the truth. If you've got businesses and maybe they're not performing as you want them to do, this exercise is vital because some business coaches will say, Andrew, Don't put emotion in the business. Take all the emotion out of it and look at things very clinically. Absolute BS is that. I won't swear. You need to put the emotion in. You need to feel it, right? We need to feel the destination. We need to really understand, why we're going there. What is it going to look like? We need to know who we become as a process, as the person to get in, to that destination. Who do we become when we get there to the top of the mountain? We need to know this stuff, so we need to stop zigzagging all over the place every day and just moving for the sake of moving because moving feels good. We need to harness that time, effort, energy, money and point it at the destination. But some of you are probably going, Andrew, but I don't know what my destination is. That's okay, because I'm going to tell you exactly how to define it. We're going to do it now. It's dead simple. When you know where you're going and why you want to be there, you can measure the steps that you're making in terms of progress. You get the sense of fulfillment. It's massive. So we've done the start point. We're focusing now, top of the mountain. That's the destiny map. That's what we use. It's a journey, is this, from A to B. So we've defined point A. We're now defining point B. We start with the end in mind. So the first part of section 2 is something really important. You need to define what success means to you. Like, in 10 years' time, if I give you the gift to be able to design your life and your business exactly how you wanted it to look and sound and feel when you got there, what would that design look like? If you were an architect and you were designing your own life, right? In 10 years' time, this is what I want my life to look like. I want you to think about, where will you be in 10 years? Who will be with you? What will you be doing in your ideal, super successful life? What things will you own? Because it's okay to want to own stuff. Like, you might want a Ferrari, great. You might want a house in Spain, great. You might want a nice watch, great. Whatever, diamonds for your wife, whatever. But you've got to really think about this. Because when you're at school, when you're a kid, your school teachers never ask you, what does success look like for you? In 10, 20 years, where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? Your parents probably never asked you. Your first boss definitely didn't ask you. He just said, sit there, do the work, and shut up, probably, or some words to that effect. Nobody asked you. And as a result of that, we're just moving, right? We're just moving. We're hoping that we feel good every day when we're doing the work that we do, but it's a bit chaotic and it's zigzaggy and it's up and down, it's circular and it's spinning and it's like a bunch of cooked spaghetti in a bloody, what do you call it? One of them things with holes in, colander. Yeah. We need to work in a straight line. What does success look like to you? Describe it. Write a day in the life of your successful life in 10 years' time. Do it with your partner, your directors. Do it with your senior leadership team. Do it with your husband, your wife. Sit down and design your ideal life. Talk about it together. Crystallize your vision of success. Then you can start thinking, wow, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is where I want to be. Yeah, we need to get that down. We need to describe it, and we need to really go into a lot of detail and make it as specific as you can, so it brings so much color and texture to it. So you feel it, you're writing it down and you're feeling the words as you're writing them, and it's like, it's becoming real. And it's like, if you imagine like, hundreds of years ago, I don't know, maybe thousands, my history's rubbish, but at some point the Pharaoh of Egypt woke up one day and he thought to himself, hey, we need to build some triangular things made out of stone in the desert over there. Let's do it. And he probably got what he called an architect back then to get some chalks or some stones and draw these things out that were in his mind on the wall. And he's like, right, they're the ones. Yeah, build them. And then, of course, they exist. They're there. Wow, awesome. A more modern example is like someone woke up one day and thought, I know what we need to build. We need to build the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. He's got this vision, incredible vision in his head. He's had a dream and it's like, I need to build that. Right, architect, we need to design it. That's what I want it to look like. And before you know it, it's built. You can have cocktails and dinner at the top of it. It's kind of the same thing here. Visualize the life that you want in the future. Aim for that, because that's what we want, and every step towards it'll be awesome. It'll make you feel good, right? So once we've described the dream life of success, you've got it all there. You can see it, you can feel it, you can read the words, you can say them out loud, you can read it every day. It's a great thing to do. Trust me, it's a really powerful thing. Imagine if you did this exercise with your team. Imagine them writing down their life of success and sharing that with you and the rest of your team, your board or your senior leadership team. Imagine, you understanding that depth of their hopes and dreams. Because when you understand that, you can help guide them towards that life. As a leader, as a business owner, you can help guide them towards it. How wonderful will that be? You'll learn so much about the people in your business that you've never even, people you've worked with for 10 years. You will learn more in 15 minutes of this exercise by understanding this stuff than you would have done in that 10-year period. It's awesome. So once you've defined the life that you want and you've thought about how your business might look as well in that, you describe your business, how many customers you want to serve, the difference you want to make in the world, the hours that you want to work, the number of people in your business and what they might be doing, the new products and services, describe it all, your whole life, the whole business. Once you've got that, we then start to think about, okay, if that's at the top of my mountain, that's the life and the business I want to create. Well, the business that I've got is just a vehicle to get there. So if the business I've got right now at point A is a vehicle to get me to the top of the mountain, we just need to define how that vehicle needs to perform to give us the life we want in the future. Okay? So when you read about your successful life, when you acknowledge that and visualize and crystallize that, simple question. If that's what I want to achieve, how does my business need to perform to give me that life? Because it's just a vehicle, right? An enjoyable vehicle, no less. You're going to enjoy every mile of that journey. Brilliant. But how does it need to perform? So we do the same exercise like we did at the start point, the numbers. Revenue. What does my business need to do in terms of revenue to give me that life? What about profit? How much profit do I need to generate to give me that life? And at this point, you probably figure out that actually, I don't need to be Jeff Bezos. I don't need $1 billion business or multi-billion-dollar business. I just need one that turns over a couple of million or 10 million or 50, whatever the number is, 100,000. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition. It's whatever the number is to give you the life you want. Revenue, profit. How many customers do you want to serve in 10 years? What will make you proud? What will make you finally understand and know that you've built a legacy? Yeah. What about business costs, key business costs in the future? I mean, we don't need to bother about that one so much. You can't predict what those costs are, so forget that bit. How many hours do you want to work in 10 years to give you the successful life? Do you still want to work 70 hours a week or 60 or 50 or whatever you're doing? Maybe you want to be the conductor in your business. You hire an MD to run things. You've got a board. You've got people. You just come in 10 hours a week. Awesome. That's the life I want in 10 years. I want choices. I don't want compromises anymore. We want to build a business that gives us choices, that gives us the life we want. How many employees will this business have to give us the life we want? How much cash do we want in the bank so we never need to worry about money and customers paying or whatever? It just happens. We've got an investment war chest there. How much cash do you want in the bank? How much spare capacity do you want in your business in 10 years' time? Yeah. So once you've defined your successful life, you do it as a team, you all share that. Then you start to understand, ask the team as well. If you've got a team of people, if you're solopreneur, do it yourself. If you've got a team of people, ask them, how does this business need to perform to give us all the life that we want? Yeah. And you get you get some random numbers and you see some alignment in some of the stuff, but broadly speaking, everyone will be like there or thereabouts. Yeah. And once we've got that performance stuff, then we can start thinking about the subconscious stuff again and go, okay, that's the life we want to build. That's the business we want to build. That's how it needs to perform to give us the life we want. What does it look like? When we think about the future and our life of success, what is the image that we've got in our head? Again, write down the image, draw the image, find a picture on the internet that reminds you of the image. The destination at the top of the mountain, we're living this successful life. We've got this brilliant legacy business. It's making a massive difference in the world. It's generating enough cash so we don't have to worry about money ever again. What does it look like? If your business was a picture, what would it be of in the future? And then if your business of the future, your life of the future was a sound, what would that be? And I worked with, some of you will know a company called Sales Geeks. When I first created this process, this way of working, and there's much more to it than this, I'm just doing the goal setting segment. I practiced it on this business. The business was called Sales Geek, and the owner there, Richard, when I created Success GPS, I said, can I kind of test it on you? And he was like, absolutely. And there was only 2 people in that business at that point. And when we did this process and we got to the sounds like thing, and it'll always stick in my head, this 2 actual, because there was Richard and Lucy. Richard said, The sound of success sounds like the sound of hugs when you've got a beard. Like the sound of hugs. I mean, how do you make that up? It's like, he said, Andy, because when you've got a beard and you hug someone, it's a really good feeling, but you just hear that noise, that, do you know what I mean? You bearded guys, we get that, don't we? It's like the sound of hugs. And Lucy said, it's the sound of ice going in an empty glass, which is it's like a holiday. I've got goose people talking about this stuff, right? I did this exercise in the rest of Success GPS with the geeks 3 years ago. They had 2 people in that business. Now they've got 22, and they're hugely successful. And the goal that they set, we haven't got to the goal setting bit, and I need to hurry up because we've only got 20 minutes. But the goal that they set 3 years ago is still the goal that's driving that business, and every single person in that business today. It's the tip of the arrow, and it's the goal that's made them ultimately successful. And it's the goal that makes them get out of bed every single morning with flipping excitement and drive and determination for the future, because they've set the right goal from the right place, and that they followed this process. We did it together. It was awesome. It was like when they came up with this goal, they were in their big cathedral offices in Blackburn, and it was like the earth shook. It was like a moment in time where it was like there was an earthquake in the room, because it was so powerful and emotional for them to agree that, because it was a massive number. And it was the number of users, actually, on active users on a platform which at that point didn't even exist. It didn't exist. It was something they kind of wanted to do, but it was like, no, that's what we're doing. And that platform now exists. It's the Sales Geek Hub. It's there. Free sales training. You can go and download it on Apple. The app is there. And they're well on the way to that 1 million users. Okay, they've got a way to go, but they've got 7 years to do it. So well done, the geeks, keep going. So what's your business sound like? And then when you think about your successful future, the business of success, life of success, when you're there and you feel it, what 3 words are going to describe how it feels at the top of your mountain? Yeah. When you again, you do this exercise on your own, you do it with your team, the feelings that come out of this, the sounds, the feelings, the pictures, the perspectives of what it's going to be like there and what obstacles we've got right now. It's awesome. And psychologically, what we've done at this point, right, is we've created a gap. We're at point A is here, point B is here, and there's 10 years time in between. It's almost like the business that you've got now is at one side of the Grand Canyon. The business that you're trying to build and the life that you're trying to build is at the other side of the Grand Canyon. And we've got a blindfold on a little bit, right? But that's where the next bit kicks in, right? That's this. Once you've got the destination sorted, you understand where you are, you understand exactly where you're trying to get to and why. That's the right place to set the goals from, because the challenges holding you back. You know where you're at. You know the obstacles and opportunities in front of you. You know what the success looks like. You know what you want your life to be like. You know what you want your business to look like in the future. You know all this stuff with just a massive bloody gap in between as to how the bloody hell do we get from here to there in 10 years? Man, how do we do it? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to set goals. But you have to do that bit first. So the goals, how does that work? Okay, so this is dead simple. And I'm not going to tell you anything you don't really know already. The magic really is in the first 2 bits that we've gone through, because that sets you up. Because when you feel that destination, you're like, wow, right, I know what it's going to be like. I need some goals, A, to guide me, to keep me on track, B, to bring the team with me and create belief in the team, and C, we need goals to break this massive journey down into bite-sized chunks. So effectively what we're doing is we're creating a bridge or some stepping stones over the Grand Canyon, right? So the journey is chunked up. It's not like we need to go from there to there in 10 years. No. We just need to go from here to here in a year. And if we do that, we just need to move from there to there in the next year. And before you know it, all that progress you're making, you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling awesome. Everything's working. It's great. You're making progress. Awesome. So goals, how does this work? So there's the start point. That's where you're at now. There's your business. Boom. We know where we are. There's the destination. We know exactly where we're trying to be in the future. What's at the top of the mountain? We know it. We've defined it. So we need to create that straight line effect. Okay, I get it. We're not going to move in exactly a straight line all the time. We're going to go up and down a little bit, but if your destiny lied in the east, we don't want to drive west, right? But if we go northeast sometimes and southeast sometimes, that's okay because we're still going east, right? So we're going to move in a straight line as possible, time, effort, energy, and money, pointing at the destination, moving forwards, making progress. We need something to keep us on track. We need to create a 10-year goal. And you're going to go, what? I can't create a 10-year goal. Well, why not? Well, we can't plan for 10 years. No, we can't. But remember the story. The Archangel Gabriel, I think, came down and said to those 3 wise men on the camels or the horses or whatever they were riding on, guys, get your gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Follow that star. All right, why? Well, when you follow it, you'll witness the miracle. Wow. Okay, let's go, guys. They trusted, they had faith, it gave them direction. You know, they had no idea the countries they were going to travel through. They had no idea of the terrain ahead, but they knew they had to be there. If you create a 10-year goal and you feel it, that's going to be your guiding light. That's going to be your North Star goal, a singular goal, a numerical goal from the heart. But I have to remind you, if you have a business with people in it, this goal that you create, it's not just about you. It's about them. What do I mean by that? Well, you might want massive revenues. You might want a load of profit. You might want to spend all that money on great houses and great lives and stuff. If you created a revenue goal or a profit goal, you've got to ask yourself, is that going to inspire my team? Is it going to inspire them to action? Maybe it does in some instances. Maybe they're equity partners. That inspires people. But what I need you to think about this. If we created a goal that was more aligned to the impact we create in the world, the difference we create, would that create more belief in your team? Probably. Even if it was just the number of customers that we want to serve within 10 years, 1,000 customers, 1,000,000 customers, whatever it is. It might be the active subscribers on your platform. You know, we've got all sorts of goal examples. I mean, I've done this like literally nearly 400 times with people. The goals that they've created are you know, there's not been any really weird, wacky ones. But, you know, the point I'm trying to make is we need to be thinking about the people, your people. We need to inspire belief. Will revenue inspire them? Will profit inspire them? Or will actually creating a goal that could be about, you know, we're going to serve 1,000 customers. We're going to have 100,000 active subscribers on our platform. We are going to have, you know, 80% of our revenue is recurring income on a monthly basis, whatever it is. We just need to think about what is the goal and, you know, how can we create a goal? What is the goal that we can create that's going to inspire belief and get everyone sort of working together and work with meaning to hit that goal? Yeah. Does that make sense? Just give me a few nods if it does. Yeah. So a goal that inspires impact, belief in people. It's big. It can be revenue, can be profit, you know, no problem. But really think hard about what will inspire the people in the business. There's another thing as well about this 10-year goal, and that is if your business is on an evolutionary plane, i.e. it's evolving and it's changing what it does. What best way can I use to describe? Maybe like if you think about the world of accountancy right now. So accountants, they do the numbers, they churn out management numbers at the end of the month. They do the year-end stuff, they do the tax and all that. Well, guess what, guys? The systems now, artificial intelligence and technology and software is going to do all that for them. So their role, their business sort of future is changing. What they need to do to keep alive and to become more profitable is change. They have to evolve into an advisory practice. So they're giving more advice, they're doing more consultancy because the numbers are going to do themselves via Xero and QuickBooks and all that. So they would naturally, an accountant might choose to naturally set a goal in 10 years, which is something to do with the advisory element of the business. So let's say if only 10% of their revenue was advisory today, but it needs to massively increase for them to stay alive and grow. It might be our 10-year goal is to have 80% of our revenue advisory business. Yeah. And if you create a goal like that and you share it with the whole team and they all understand it and believe in it, guess what? They're all behind that arrow then, and they all understand that the business has to evolve. It's not just about generating £1 profit. It's about generating £1 advisory profit. Yeah. So the goal inspires behaviors. And when you start changing things in the business, they'll understand why. Because the goal is to do this. So therefore the business has to evolve. You know, and that goal is something you should share with the team on a regular basis. You know, every single month, stand up in front of them. How are we making progress? How are we doing towards this goal? Great, baby steps. Great, we're making progress. Awesome. These are some of the behaviors we see in the business that are helping. These are some of the behaviors that aren't helping so much. We need to evolve. So 10-year North Star goal, absolutely critical. You can't make a plan to hit it, but what you can do is set that as your direction. It's a decision-making barometer as well. Should we do this or that? Well, which thing's going to help us get there? It's that. Well, there's the answer. You know, you've got a binary barometer. You've got a stake in the ground that's going to help decision-making. It's going to help inspire belief. It's going to create the right behaviors. It's going to motivate the right people to do the right things. It's an incredibly powerful thing. But make sure the goal has meaning, not just for you, but for the people as well. Once you've got the 10-year goal, like I said, we can't plan for it. But what we want to do is then go, okay, if that's 10, what does 3 look like? What does 3 years look like? So we're creating the stepping stones. So in 3 years, my advice would be to look at that 10-year goal and say, okay, 10-year goal is 1,000 customers we want to serve. Okay, average customer value is £5,000 a year. That's £500,000 or £5 million, whatever, quick maths. So that's the revenue, and that's probably the profit we make in 10 years if we have that as a goal, 1,000 customers. Okay, so if you work out some of the metrics there, you can then go, okay, if that's 10 years, what does 3 years look like? Yeah, revenue, we need a revenue goal, 3 years. This is a business after all. It's not just hairy-fairy in creating belief and inspiring people. We need hard-coded numbers. We can plan for 3 years. So if that's 10, what does 3 years look like? What's our revenue number in 3 years? What do we need to achieve? What do we want to achieve? What about our net profit number? So the first 2 goals are mandatory, revenue and profit. Now, if you've created an impact goal for your 10 years, customer impact, something that's going to inspire belief, the third 3-year goal needs to be in line with that. So if it's 1,000 users at 10 years, the third goal needs to be a representation of how many users or how many customers that we want to work with in 3 years. Yeah? Does that make sense? So we have 3 goals: revenue, profit, and then customer impact is one I recommend, because we need that customer impact goal. Because if anyone in the room is like me, my whole focus is about making a difference to others. And if I want to inspire belief in my organization for others to want to make a difference to others, and having a goal that revolves around something to do with our customers is superbly powerful. And actually, if you're impacting that many customers, the revenue and profit's going to knock on your door anyway. You don't even need to talk to the whole business about your revenue and profit goals. Who cares? Who really cares? They can just be driven in the background with accounts and the executive team. Great. We need to know what they are. Great. Let's just talk about that impact goal. How many customers' lives are we impacting today? Yes. How good does it feel to do that? It feels awesome. Let's do some more. Yes, let's. Right, okay, more. Build a thermometer in your office and bloody get that red line going up every time you win a new customer. Whatever it is. Make it fun. Make it interesting. Create belief. Create belonging. Let's do it. Once you've got the 3 years locked in, then just go, okay, if that's 3 years, that's 10, that's 3. What does 2 look like? Okay, yeah, okay, that's fair. 2 to 3, 3 to 2, good, that's good, yeah, okay. Once you've got your 2-year goals locked in, then all you need to do is go, okay, if that's 2 years, what does 1 year look like? Cool, okay, yeah, that's good. And then what happens is you look at your start point numbers that you wrote down earlier, and you look at those year 1 goals, and you're like, wow, that's easy. We can do that. Bloody hell. Where have these goals been all my life? It's like magic. It's like, honestly, it's truly magical. When we do this bit with my customers and stuff, it's like they're like, oh my God, we know where we are, Andrew. Yeah. We know what's holding us back. Yeah. We know what these exciting opportunities are that we're not doing anything about. We've got all the team perspective on this. So we've got some new ones that we didn't even know about. Yeah. We know what we want our life to look like in the future. Yeah, you do. It feels good. Yes, it does. We know how we want our business to perform in the future. Yes, you do. You've written it down. You've consolidated it. You've got a view from everybody in your business about what this business needs to do to give us the life we want. Great. But Andrew, this is a massive, overwhelming journey from A to B. Yes, it is. But we've got a guiding light. We've got the North Star. It's going to keep us on track. Yeah, we have. Brilliant. It's inspiring belief. It's motivating me. I want to do it. I want to get there. Brilliant. We might even get there in 7 years if we work really hard. We're all flipping on board. Yeah, we might. Brilliant. Let's do it in 7 years. Awesome. Yeah, but it's still a long journey. That. Yeah, okay. Well, let's shorten it down. Let's break it down to chunks. We've got a 3-year goal, haven't we? Yes, we have. We've got 3 of them. We've got 2-year goals as well. They're there. And these 1-year goals, actually, all we need to do is do that, that, and that. And we can hit them. Shit, yeah. That'd feel good, wouldn't it? Sorry, I swore then. So I've kind of like missed out a bunch of slides there, and I've just talked you through it on one slide. But the 10-year goal, right? It's got to be really, really, visionary. It's got to be scary and exciting at the same. You've got to look at it and go, "Shit! I can't believe we've said that. I can't believe that's it." Because that gap between where you are in 10 years, the scary and exciting bit, that's letting you know that actually you're going to be operating, you're going to be expanding your comfort zone, which actually means that you're going to do a tremendous amount of learning and growing through the process. Yeah. That's where the nervous energy comes from, because it's like, shit, that's where we're going, but I don't have a clue how to get there. That's okay, because there's loads of learning and personal growth that's going to kick in at the time. The goal, it needs to be a number. My recommendation, make it a number. I did say it's not all about the numbers. It's not, because we have to do the start point stuff and the destination stuff first. Then we can start thinking about the numbers that we need to aim for that are going to give us the life and the business that we want to build and create a legacy and create a difference in the world. So they have to be numbers, because numbers are always smarter. So that 10-year goal is massive. Something else you could consider as well, right? 10-year goal, right? Let me tell you about goals, because we've got 7 minutes. I might as well fill it all up for you with value, or I think it's valuable. Right, I'm on a bit of a health journey, right? I've set a goal. I want to be 14 stone, right? So I'm 16 stone, or was 16 stone. I want to be 14 stone. But 14 is just a number. It's just a number. It's not inspiring. I look at the number 14, I look at the 1 bit of it and I go, well, that's boring. I look at the 4, boring. I look at them both together, I think that's boring. So what is it about that goal that is actually encouraging me to move towards it? Something really important. And you can see it on screen now. If you put your 10-year goal in the middle and in the stars around the edges, if you start to write about, and again, you can do this with your team, guys, that's our 10-year goal. Yeah, but it's just a number in it. Yeah, it looks a bit boring, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It's big, but it's boring. Yeah, okay. So when we hit that number, what happens? What's the positive outcome? So related to the weight bit, 14 is just a number. It's not about the number. It's about what happens to me. Who do I become as a result of it? What is the positive outcome for me? Well, for one, I've got a bunch of clothes in my wardrobe that don't fit, and they're nice clothes, and I really want to wear them again. Benefit number 1. Benefit number 2, I want to look in the mirror at the person staring back at me, and I want to go, I love this guy, because he's caring for himself. He's looking after himself. Yeah, he's proud of himself. I want that feeling. And the third thing is, like, and I don't visualize this, but if I get undressed, like I'm naked, I might want to catch my wife just checking me out and going, he's the guy for me. He's my guy. Do you know? And that's what I want to feel. That's why I'm doing it. It's not the number. The number's just a guide. The number's just like a trigger. I'm there. Boom. All these great things are happening. It's awesome. But obviously, some of the great things happen before you get to the 14. Because actually, I'm in the T-shirt that didn't fit before. It works. I can wear one of the shirts because that works. Can't wear that white one, though, because that's really tight. But anyway, but you see what I mean? It's not just a number. So like you can create a little exercise like this where you've got the number in the middle and all those stuff around the edges, all the positive outcomes. What happens when you hit your 10-year goals? We build an aspirational brand, a great place to work, great place to be a customer. We have financial freedom. We've got choices. We've got more time with the family. We've got financial security for our people. We've got an equity scheme in place for the people. All these positive things happen for family, for friends, for customers, for executives, for whatever. And actually, it's those things that have the meaning for us, because the goal is just a number. But it's like, what happens when we hit it? What's the great thing that happens when we hit it? What are all those great things? So really, really zone into that and do the exercise around that. And that's kind of the goals. The 10-year goal, massively powerful. 3-year goals, massively powerful. Reverse engineer them to 2, reverse engineer them to 1. And you've kind of cracked it. And that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is the only way to set the right goals for the right reasons. And there you go. You've got your goals. So did all that make sense? Was it an interesting way to think about how you might set goals? Maybe it was an interesting maybe you've set goals before and thought, oh, and fell out of love with them or something, or just like set them and then went, oh, balls to that, I don't need to do that anymore. It's kind of because you probably haven't gone through the process like this. Like you didn't feel them in the first place. You didn't really understand where you were. You didn't really try and define where you wanted to get to. And you didn't like create the goals that were actually going to be fundamental, like waypoints or base camps on the way up that mountain. Yeah. Does that make sense? Good. Was that an enjoyable workshop? Was that an enjoyable way to spend an hour? Yeah. Do you think you might take some of that stuff, the concepts, and use it and apply it?
10,000
and by all means, you can unmute yourself and talk. Okay. No one's talking. That's okay. So listen, we're going to wrap up now. It's 12:57, bang on time. I didn't even rehearse that. I didn't practice that. It's great that it's just lasted bang on time. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank you all for the hour that you've spent with me. And I've got a gift for you. There's no sales pitch, but it kind of is a bit, I suppose. But it's not a sales pitch. I want to help you. I'm in business to make a difference, right? And if you want to go through a process similar to that, a guided process, I'll take you through it. I'll take you through it in more detail, and we'll do it one-on-one. So you've given me the gift of your time. I'm going to give you that gift back. So if you just want 60 minutes of my time, an hour, you can absolutely take advantage of that. All you need to do is, after this session, just hit me up on LinkedIn or Messenger or WhatsApp or email me and say, Andrew, I'd love to spend an hour with you. I mean, some of you might think, oh, no, I'm not having another hour with that guy. But hopefully you might think, no, do you know what? I want to do this. So we kind of call it a business mapping thing, business mapping call, because we kind of start with point A, we start to define point B, we start to think about some of the goals, and then we take it from there. And this isn't all I do. This is just one day of 8 days when I work with customers, whether they're solo and micro businesses or whether they're larger multi-million-pound businesses with boards of directors. There's another 7 days worth of stuff that helps them define and build the plan to get from A to B, because the goals are only the measurements, I suppose. There's a whole load of strategic stuff and planning that's involved afterwards. So if anyone was interested in that, by all means, again, just hit me up. I'd love to talk to you about it. So thank you so much for attending. Really appreciate it. You're probably going to get an email afterwards. Some automation will kick in probably and send you something. Send you maybe a link to this, my Calendly, if you want to book a session. But thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. And if you need me for anything in the meantime, you know where I am. You know who I am. I'm the Sherpa Guide. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Right. Cheers.
Have a cracking weekend, and hopefully see you soon.